It's been a funny few days for Tottenham. Unable to play Everton here, they looked slick and sharp at Hearts, but were somewhat overrun by Manchester United on Monday. They'll hope to hammer home their advantage against the SPL side this evening and move smoothly into the group stage of the Europa League. Harry Redknapp, as advertised, will give youth its head tonight, of course, with the comfortable lead from last week. Paulo Sergio and Hearts, similar ideas, but also looking, if not to overturn the 5-0 lead, certainly to salvage some Scottish pride. It was a one-sided affair at Tynecastle last week, Spurs bringing that 5-0 lead back to White Hart Lane for tonight's second leg. Could there be involvement for Luka Modric, I wonder, who's staying, it seems like it, or not? Kick-off here at 8 o'clock. Evening to you, on hand to assess part 2 of this Scotland-England tete-a-tete, and of course to react to today's Champions League group stage draw. Gordon Strachan and Gareth Southgate, welcome both. We'll start for Spurs and Hearts for that matter tonight. Gabriel Clark has all the news.
Tottenham's reward for their ruthless performance last week is the chance to rest some key players tonight and to blood some young talent. They've got plenty of that in their academy. As for Hearts, they've got a big local derby with Hibs at the weekend, and that has affected their team selection. We'll start them with Tottenham's 11. Dawson and Livermore remain from last week. 20-year-old Andros Townsend starts at left-back. 18-year-old Ryan Fredericks and 19-year-old Tom Carroll make their debuts in midfield. Up front, another 18-year-old Harry Kane, a highly rated centre-forward, also makes his first start. The Hearts manager, Paulo Sergio, was livid with the awestruck attitude of his players last week. Only 4 of them, Zaliukas, Granger, Webster and Templeton, are given the chance to do better. We expect up to 4,000 supporters, though, to stay loyal and to be here from Edinburgh to sing their hearts out. As for the latest on Luka Modric, we're told that Daniel Levy has said basically there's a big not-for-sale sign around Modric's neck. It's going to be a key 7 days or so for Harry Redknapp, of course, as we build towards the closure of the transfer window, and we'll get a word with the Spurs manager before kick-off.
So Modric not here, but look who is here, Gareth. Emmanuel Adebayor. One would presume, therefore, that that is almost done, if not done, his loan signing.
He's a good for Hearts, isn't he?
Don't know. Paulo Sergio's an influential guy.
I think that's I think that's a really good signing for Tottenham.
To look forward to. Now, Jake Livermore, who actually looks a little like a rugby player, made his first team debut at Spurs 4 years ago in a friendly against Stevenage. Since then, he's had loan spells at 6 clubs. So the 21-year-old, as he now is itching to be a first-team regular, and of course helped his cause with his first goal at Hearts last week.
I guess every season players talk about the start to the season, but this start to the season has been a bit different for you.
Yeah, on a personal level, it's been good. We had a good performance against Hearts. We've had a good pre-season, and I thought we was unlucky at Manchester United. I thought we was good for long periods of the game, and we still took confidence from that, from spells, and just looking forward to the next game.
You came through the academy here, didn't you? I mean, you've been here for a while now, and you've had loan spells over the last few seasons, been out to 6 different clubs, I think, on loan. So do you feel you've sort of bided your time and waited for your chance to come?
Yeah, I mean, I've been patient, and I've been here since I was 7, so I've taken the time, but it's nice to finally get out there and put the shirt on.
Big moment for Jake Livermore.
First senior goal for you as well in a big Europa League game. You obviously saw the Europa League as your chance to put yourself in the window. You got a great reaction from the manager with the goal. That must have all added up to a very special occasion for you. Yeah,
it was a great occasion. I've been, like I said, I've been waiting long enough, and the most important thing was for me, the performance, and that performance earned us as a team, the same starting team that went to Manchester on Monday night. And like I said, it was unfortunate not to get a result there, but I thought the performance for large spells was good. So hopefully we can take confidence from each game and hopefully do well this season.
Perhaps had to wait for your chance. I mean, you're by no means a senior player. You're a young player, but you've had to wait for a chance, and now it's come and you seem to be grabbing it with both hands. Do you think it's helped you? Do you think you feel more ready now than you perhaps would have done a couple of years ago?
I've had a few injuries in the past, so obviously I wasn't ready in that respect, but I've had some good loan spells. I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about certain aspects of the game, and hopefully now I'm ready to take my chance. Said I've enjoyed myself. I've worked under some great managers, some great people, great players as well. So I've learned a lot about myself as well going out on loan.
Finally, first game at White Hart Lane, you had the game postponed. The fans are frustrated. They obviously want to see you play this season, the team play. Do the players look upon that as an occasion, a chance to get out in front of your own fans for the first time?
Of course, yeah, it was disappointing. You know, the first game got called off against Everton, but you know, it's always nice to play in front of your home fans, and you know, especially we're still so full of confidence, you know, and we want to do it for our fans, and obviously we want to push forward as a club. So no, everyone's looking forward to the game.
Tom Skippings with the questions. Do you think it's getting harder than ever, Gordon, for young English or British players to make it here?
There's absolutely no doubt about it. The standard's been risen in the last 25, 30 years. Even when Carl said when I started, it was the best of British. And now it's the best in the world. It's the best club competition in the world. So people say there's not many Scots coming down. There is, but they've got the Championship.
Right.
There's good English players.
Because the bar's gone that high.
Risen. I think there's 70 odd Scots in the Championship, or played in the Scottish Premiership, are down here. But the bar's been risen for young English kids to get in. But the ones who do get through are really good.
Yeah. There are Rooneys and Wilshires. Then there's players like Harry Kane, Tom Carroll, Ryan Frederick was going to see all of them tonight. It's a massive opportunity for them because they're not going to get many chances.
No, but this competition might be that opportunity. I remember when I was captain at Middlesbrough and we had 2 runs in the Europa, what was then
UEFA, yeah.
Cup, and that was when most of the young players there got their chance. You go into a group stage and a lot of the games are winnable, manager looking to rotate things. Now all these lads playing tonight have played for England at youth level. But the success of Tottenham has meant that Harry would be reluctant to throw young players in because he's got great senior players and things have been going so well. So sometimes you get that opportunity when you're at a middle of the table club, but not at a top club. So they've got to grab the opportunity. They've got to show him tonight that he can trust them more than anything else.
Yeah.
Can I trust these young lads to go in and play? And it's a big night in their career, really. They've all been out on loan. Can they perform on this
Would you
day?
think Harry thought at the beginning of the season that he'd have a chance to play so many youngsters in the first team at all, any stage of this season? You know, with the Europa, Premiership. I bet he never thought he'd be able to play.
To put 3 or 4 into one team.
Yeah, usually you can squeeze one in. But the opportunity, because they played so well, is to get so many youngsters in at one time, which might help them.
Yeah.
Because they all know each other, might be a wee bit more comfortable out there. Together as a group.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Now, sat behind Paulo Sergio at Tynecastle last week as we were, it was hard not to ponder what he might have let himself in for. The former Sporting Lisbon coach said all the right things before last week's first leg, but he's not really had time to get settled at Hearts yet, and it showed on the pitch. Here's what he's had to say before tonight's return leg.
Yes, Paulo Sergio is here. Paulo, I'm interested. When you lose a match by such a big score as you did last week, what do you do with the players? Do you force them to watch the video and go through the agony again, or do you turn the page and get on with things?
If you think there are important things that they should see, you show them the video.
So did you?
I did it for them to learn, and they can see the difference between what they did in the first half and what they did in the second one. I think after we talk in the halftime, we give a different answer. The goals we lost in the first half was our mistakes. The goals that Spurs did in the second one, it's quality. It's a big difference between one thing and the other. So because of that, we are working. We are starting our work with them, and we want to improve. And I think they respect too much Tottenham in the first half.
And the improvement has to start here tonight?
No. It starts in the second half. I think last weekend we did it better at Kilmarnock, and I hope today we can give a different answer too.
And what do you need to see from your team tonight?
We are not stupid. We know it's almost impossible to go in front because of the result of the first leg. We recognize the difference between both teams. And what we want, our goal today, it's to see players that came from injured, young players. It's a good experience to them to play here at White Hart Lane. And sure, I have to be thinking about the game on Sunday, and some players they shouldn't play today.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, the small matter of Hibs in the Edinburgh Derby on Sunday. It's the conundrum of the modern manager, is it not, for him? Difficult relationship with the owner. They come and go quickly at Hearts.
Yeah, yeah. But I tell you what, if I was one of the players left out, the 7 players left out for last week, I'd be real angry. Because if I was a player, I'd want to play again to prove that I can play. I wouldn't want to be sitting up there in the stand watching younger players taking over and trying to hang on to the mess I've made of it. I think that's a cop-out, really. I think I was the man that said, get yourself back, same 11, get down there and play. Derby looks after itself, but get yourself back out there and play. So I'm a wee bit worried about that, the way it's manifested itself, that other people have got to take over and have to deal with the mess that the guys in the stand have left them with. If I was one of the players in the stand, I'd want to be playing in it, that's for sure.
How do you approach a 5-0 deficit?
I think you've just got to forget the overall tie and say, can we win the match tonight? Simple as that. Can we take something positive from this experience? OK, so he has made the changes, so now a group of young lads or players that need the fitness, what can we get from the game? And you've got to look for little positives.
I know he's sat on his own there, but he cuts a slightly isolated figure, having been parachuted into a club, different country, new set of players, not really got any mates or assistants with him that he's... It's like a travelling salesman almost.
It's a very strange setup, isn't it, Hearts? You know, I mean, I don't know about the career path of going from Sporting Lisbon to there, and then, you know, the dynamic of the whole club, the ownership of it. I mean, you'll know more about it, Gordon, from your time in...
With Hearts?
Yeah.
The guy owns it is a megalomaniac. It's as simple as that. I mean, there was one time we were at Celtic and the phone was going, I don't know if they're a manager or a caretaker manager, but I remember speaking to him. He was on the phone during the game saying, what's the players there, why is he playing, what's he doing? It was hilarious.
Unless you're on the other end of the phone.
It's hilarious. And Per George, he had a fantastic start.
Yeah.
I mean, fantastic. And that was the one chance that I think at Hearts in the last, whatever, it's 20 odd years, had a chance of really challenging. They were level with Celtic. And I think George annoyed him about doing something. I can't, whatever it was, maybe no picking one of his players. But anyway, George left after 10 games. And that was a fantastic group of players there who were real personalities, with Presley, Hartley.
Yeah.
They were a real good group of, Gordon, the goalkeeper.
Yes. Yeah,
and they got rid of all them because they stood up and said, listen, we've got a good club here, we've got a great manager, we want to stick together, but the man wasn't happy at the top. And they imploded. It was his fault. They had a real chance to make a challenge. And it ended up Celtic won the league by 19 points or something like that. From it really should have been a real good challenge by Hearts, because they had the players, they had the stadium, they had the fans, they had everything. If they had just left it alone, it would have been a real good challenge.
13 coaches in 6 years, I think it is. We'll get Harry's view next. Spurs boss will no doubt be a busy man over the last week of the window. Looks like there's at least one new arrival. I'm not talking about the guy in the stripy shirt, by the way, but big Emmanuel Adebayor. We'll talk to Harry next.